Hello, and thank you for joining me for today's practice. Today's sequence is a gentle yoga practice to improve posture. We're going to begin today's practice in a supported back bend, and I'd like to give you a few options that you could choose from just depending on what type of props you have at home. So we want to lay the spine over a blanket or a pillow or maybe a yoga bolster, just something that elevates the spine and allows the arms to go down so that we get some extra opening across the chest. I am going to show you my favorite way to do this with two yoga blankets, and I'll also show you how to do this with a bolster and a block. You could use a pillow in place of that bolster. So this is I call it the blanket log roll. And you want your blankets to be folded in a way that they're rectangular in shape. So usually what I end up doing is folding them in half long ways and then folding them in half the opposite direction. So I'll show you that real quick. So you take a blanket and you fold it in half long ways, and then you fold it in half one more time. And then you take that blanket and you lay it down. And then you stack two yoga blankets on top of one another that way. Okay. Now, you want the blankets to be folded so that the fringe is at one end and the folds are at the opposite end. Now you're going to roll from the long side of the rectangle. A lot of times I'll see people roll from the fringe side. So you're going to want to roll from the long side. Okay, so you just kind of fold over until you have a long roll. Now I like the fringe to be at the end where my head is going to go. So I'm going to end up flipping this blanket support around. So it's two blankets rolled on top of one another, and then you can put the pelvis here and then you'll lay the spine over the support. An alternative option is to maybe take a block or maybe even, a pillow going one direction and then another pillow going the opposite way. So I want you to just work with whatever you have at your house. Just make do with what you have. And I'm going to show you over this blanket roll. So I'm going to sit with my pelvis down on the floor. And then I'm going to lay the spine over the support. Okay, now you could bend your knees and place your feet flat to the floor. You could extend your legs. Now, one thing I want you to notice is if that bothers the low back, you could even sit the hips right onto the blanket support and then come down. Okay. So take a second to adjust the body. We're going to stay here for a few minutes. So take your time, get yourself set up in a way that really feels good. For me and my low back right now, it actually feels better if I sit on the blanket and lay back. Okay. And then you're going to take your arms out in a low V or even out in a T so that the chest is open. So what happens to many of us is that we get tightness across the abdominal region and the chest from rounding the spine, and the muscles on the back body become long and weak. And this pose is going to create just a bit of gentle openness across the chest. Take a couple of deep cycles of inhale and exhale here. Let's take another 1 to 2 minutes here. My last round of inhale and exhale here. Okay, so if your legs are extended, first rebending the knees so that the feet come flat to the floor. We want to transition off of the support. So you might slide your hips just a bit to the right, start to roll to the left. So you want to bring your right arm around so that the hand can come down. You really support yourself as you shift off of your support, coming to lie on the side. I'm going to press the hands down and start to bring the body back up. We can take a moment to adjust the blanket roll so that it's out of the way. Okay, so you can just slide that off to one side. In a moment, we'll get one of the blankets and place it underneath of the knees. But for now, we're going to come back down onto the spine. Keep the knees bent, feet flat to the floor. Take a couple windshield wiper sways. Point the knees to the sky. Line the heels approximately with the sitting bones, maybe a little wider. Bring your arms down by your hips and then bend at the elbows so that the forearms and the palms are in the air looking at one another. So you're going to spread your fingers, you're going to press it down into the backs of your arms. As you inhale, we're going to let the feet anchor and then float the hips away from the floor, coming into bridge shape. And then as you exhale, lower the hips back down to the floor. And we're going to do these bridge pulses a few times. So inhale, stabilize the legs, lift the hips away from the floor. You're going to notice the tailbone. You want to draw the tailbone slightly down toward the space between the two knees. And then as you exhale, lower the hips back down. Inhale, stabilize the feet and legs, and lift the hips away from the floor. Exhale, lower the hips back down. Let's do that 2 more times. Ground down into your arms. Inhale, elevate the hips away from the floor. Exhale to lower. This time we're going to lift and hold the hips up. So press the feet and lift the hips into the air. This pose strengthens the spinal muscles and opens up the front body. Take another round of breath here. Take one last inhalation. And then as you're exhaling, allow your hips to slowly come down. Okay, we're going to take the arms out wide again. Go a little bit wider with the feet. And then sway the knees a few times from side to side. We're going to do one more set of that dynamic bridge flow. So we're going to point the knees to the sky, approximately line the heels with the sitting bones, bring the arms down by the hips, bend the elbows. So forearms, palms look at one another, press down into the feet, and inhale, elevate your hips away from the floor. As you exhale, let your hips come back down to the mat. Inhale, root down, and allow the hips to rise up. Exhale, slowly lower the hips back down. 3 more times. On the third one, we'll hold. So inhale, lift the hips away from the mat. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. This last one, we're going to lift and hold. Press down into the feet, lift the hips up into the air, and then pause there. Root down into the backs of the arms. Feel the knees stable. Take one last breath in. Exhale, let the hips come back down to the floor. One more time, go wide with the arms, a little wider with the feet, and windshield wiper sway the legs from side to side. Okay, we're going to take the right knee, bring it into the chest, and loop the hands around to the right shin bones. Now, left knee can remain bent with the foot flat, or you're going to slide this left leg out along the floor. And we're going to do a little bit of twisting, which is going to impact the spine, but we're also going to do a nice stretch across the chest as well. So left hand is going to hold right knee. Right arm is going to open out to the side. So as you exhale with the left hand, you're going to guide this right leg across the body. You're going to see if you can keep your right arm grounded toward the floor, so that you bring some openness across the right chest. So when we round in the spine, the chest muscles become restricted. So we want to bring some opening to that region. And then as you inhale, you're going to come back to the center. So we'll move in and out of that a few times. Exhale, guide the right leg across the body to the left. Bring some stretch into the right chest. And then inhale as you come back to the center. Exhale, guide the leg to the left. Inhale to the center. Last 2 times. On the second one, we'll hold. Exhale to spinal twist. Inhale to rise up. Last one, we'll go into the twist with a hold. So twist the right leg to the left, and then take a moment to pause here. Soften around your eyes, particularly the corners of your eyes. Let your eyebrows relax, releasing and relaxing tension from the forehead space. Okay, last round of breath. Okay, come back up to the center. Give a gentle squeeze of the right thigh in and a gentle squeeze of the left thigh in. Then you're going to place your right foot down onto the floor. Hug your left thigh into the body. Now you can keep your right foot on the mat, or you can slide your right leg out along the floor and let your left arm open out to the side. And with your right hand, you're going to guide your left leg across the body. So you're going to exhale, take a twist. And then as you inhale, you'll come back to the center. And then as you exhale, twist the leg to the right. Ground down through that left arm. Inhale, come to the center. Exhale to twist. Inhale, center. Last 2 times. On the second one, we'll hold. Exhale to twist. Inhale to come back up. Last one, exhale, twist and hold. Okay, so pause here. Let your left arm settle down toward the floor. Notice that sensation across the left side of the chest. Last round of breath. Okay, and then as you inhale, come back to the center, a gentle hug of the left knee and the right knee in toward the body with a little bit of gentle swing across the low back. Okay, and then we're going to come to tabletop. So you can always roll forward and back on your spine if you prefer. I usually just like to roll over to one side and come up. So we're going to come to table, and so you want some support for your knees, a little cushion. So if you have the blanket roll, you might need to unfold that so that way you can take one of those blankets out to the side. Then you can take the second blanket and place it underneath of the knee joints. So again, just take a moment. So anytime you're working with props, just take your time, get yourself set up. So using the props is a way to really support the body and the practice, but it just takes a minute to get things set up. So blanket the knees. At this point, you could remove your socks if you were wearing socks or your sweater. Okay, and then we'll come to all fours when you're ready. We're just going to start with some cat-cow, so just take your time getting there. You can join in once you arrive. So knees underneath of the hips, and then we'll flow the spine a few times. You're going to inhale, release your belly down and lift your heart. Exhale, press your hands and round your back. Inhale, release your belly down to the floor. Feel your heart lift. Exhale, press your hands and round your spine. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, release the belly and lift through the heart. Exhale, press the hands and round. Okay, this next one will be the last one. Inhale, release the belly, lift the heart. Exhale, press the hands and round your spine. Inhale, come to neutral with the spine. So you're going to let the weight come into the right knee, and you're going to send your left leg back behind you, initially with the ball of the foot on the floor. So here we're finding neutral with the spine. The crown of the head is lengthening forward. The left foot's like a kickstand spread through the fingers. We're going to do some leg lifts with the left leg. So as you inhale, the left leg is going to lift, and you're going to let your belly button tip down to the floor as you lift your heart. So this is going to engage some of the muscles on the back body, and it opens up the front body. Now, as you exhale, the ball of the foot's going to come back down. You're just going to find neutral with your spine. So draw your chin slightly in so that the crown of your head reaches forward. And then we're going to do that again. So you're going to inhale and let the left leg lift. Release the belly and lift up through your heart and your chin. And then exhale, come back to neutral. So bring the ball of the foot down. Reach out long through the crown of your head. And then again, inhale, float the left leg. Lift up through the chest and chin. Exhale, come back down, neutral with the spine. Let the ball of the foot tap down. Inhale, float the leg, lift the heart, and then exhale, lower the ball of the foot, reach out long through the crown of the head. So bring the left knee down toward the floor. For a moment, bring your big toes closer, touching, go wide with the knees, and then just move your pelvis toward your heels just to release some of the pressure in the wrist for a moment. Okay, rise back up to table. Slide the knees back underneath of the hips. Shift into your left knee and extend your right leg back behind you with the ball of the foot on the floor. Reach out long through the crown of the head. Now, as you breathe in, you're going to lift the right leg, release the belly, and lift the heart. So, see if you can feel the muscles around the spine, around your shoulder blades engage. And then exhale, let the ball of the foot come down and reach through the crown of your head. Inhale, float the right leg up. Release the belly and lift up through the heart. And then as you exhale, bring the ball of the foot down and come more toward neutral with the spine. And we're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, float the right leg up. Release the belly, lift the heart. Exhale, come to neutral. Ball of the foot will come down. And just 1 more time. Inhale, float the right leg. Release the belly and lift up the heart. Exhale, lower the ball of the foot, come to neutral with the spine, and then lower the right knee down. Go wide with your knees, big toes come close, and then send the pelvis toward the heels in the child's pose. Okay, nice deep breath in and out here. Okay, and then we're gonna come back up through table, slide the knees underneath of the hips. We're gonna walk the hands in so that you come standing on the knees. So the blanket cushion is really helpful here as you rise up. So cactus arms is an excellent position for posture. So we're gonna send the arms up by the ears. We'll do a few rounds of cactus arms. So as you exhale, you're gonna let your elbows bend. You might even tip the chin up slightly if that feels okay on the neck, and then inhale, re-extend the arms back up by the ears. Exhale, allow your elbows to bend. Inhale as you once again extend the arms. We'll do that a final few times. Exhale, let your elbows bend. Inhale to reach up. We're going to do that 2 more times. Exhale, let your elbows bend. Inhale, re-extend. Last one. Exhale, bend. Inhale to extend, and you're going to go out nice and wide with your arms. You're going to let your hands come to your low back. So your thumbs are going to wrap around to the center. You're going to draw your elbows toward one another, tailbone down, and then just a gentle kneeling back bend. So feel the heels of your hands, just press into your low back a little bit, lift up through your chest, open the throat just a bit. Okay, and then bring the shoulders directly over the hips, and then bring the body back through table, and then we're going to lower the belly and the chest down to the floor. So as you come down, initially you could stack your palms so that your forehead could rest on your stacked palms. You could do a little swaying with your pelvis from side to side. Now to begin here, I want to do some asymmetrical locust flow. So notice the stack of your hands and have the left hand connected to the floor, left palm connected to the floor, right palm connected to the left palm, or to the back of the left hand, rather. So we're going to keep the right foot pressing down into the floor. And as you inhale, you're going to lift the right arm and head and the left leg. So you may need to look up at the screen momentarily. So you keep the forehead connected to the right hand as you lift the left leg and the right arm. And then you exhale and everything comes back down. And we're going to stay on that same exact side a couple times. So you're going to inhale, lift your left leg and your right arm. I love this back bend for strengthening the postural muscles. Exhale as you come back down to the floor. Let's do 2 more on this side. So inhale, stay strong through your right foot, draw your tailbone down, float your left leg and your right arm, and exhale to lower. And then we'll just do that one more time on this side. Inhale to elevate, exhale to lower, and then pause. And you can kind of sway out your hips or windshield wiper your legs. Okay, we're gonna switch the hands before we do the second side. So right palm connects to the floor. Left hand connects to the right hand. Stay grounded through your left foot. Inhale the right leg, left arm and head. Half locust. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift the right leg and left arm. Exhale, lower down. We're doing 2 more on this side. Inhale to lift. Able to feel those spinal muscles working. Exhale to lower. Last one, inhale, right leg, left arm. Exhale to lower. And then again, maybe sway out the hips or bend your knees, maybe some sways with your legs. Okay, take both feet back down. We're going to tuck the hands underneath of the lower chest. So as you inhale, we're going to lift the chest and both legs. You're going to hug the elbows in toward the sides of the body. Now, as you exhale, we're going to come down. You're going to bring your left cheek down to the floor as the legs and chest come back down. You're going to start to bring your nose back to the center and inhale, lift your chest, your legs. Exhale, bring your right cheek down to the floor as you come down. We're going to do that 2 more times. Bring the nose to the center. Inhale, draw your tailbone down and lift the legs and the chest. Exhale, left cheek to the mat. Bring your nose to the mat and inhale, lift the chest and the legs. Exhale, right cheek to the mat. Okay, we're going to bring the forehead back to the center, stack the palms once more. Maybe a few windshield wipers. So another motion that I like is to do a circular motion here with the lower legs. So you might swing the legs out to the left and then swing both feet toward the back short side of the mat and then swing the feet to the right. And then heels toward the sitting bones. And you might go with that motion a few times, that circular motion. Then you can go out the other way. And then eventually the feet can come down to the floor. Just take a moment here in this crocodile shape just to let the body just release and relax. Belly down, Shavasana, belly down relaxation. Taking a nice deep full breath into the lower belly region and exhale, feeling the front of your body release and relax. Down to the mat, down to the earth. And take a last cycle or two of breath here. Okay. Transition up to seated position now. So you can slide your hands under your chest as you're ready. Press up to table. And then we'll come around to seated. So as you come around to your simple cross-leg position, take a nice deep breath in. Circle sweep the arms. Reach your arms up to the sky. I like this position because it gets a nice lift in the low back. Exhale, prayer hands coming together. And then down into your heart. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, circle sweep. Exhale, prayer hands join. And come down into the heart. Last one, inhale. Exhale, prayer hands come to the heart. Bow the chin. Light within me bows to that same light that exists within you. Namaste.